Okay. So it's 1:30, and we would like to respect timing and start this magnificent session about workforce development and empowerment. Welcome all of you. Bula Bula, Mari Mari Peñi, Mari Mari Lamien. That's the way we do in my country, in Chile. From Latin America, I bring you a big, huge blessing to all of you, to all of the audience, and hope that we can have today another of the incredible sessions that we have had so far with the GSTC. I would like to thank being part of that organization. We also have to say a lot about what it means for us to work on the GSTC. It's a very nice atmosphere when we can be part of moving forward towards sustainability. And being part of this global organization is also very, very hard and breathtaking to be able to contribute to the planet. Also, I would like to thank Fiji. It's my first time here. I think it's the far away place I could ever be from my country. But it's very nice because time-wise, I'm more or less 16 hours away from home, but I feel at home here. And I would like to thank you very much. All that amazing smiles that I get from all of you, and those nice bulas, and all the good, beautiful energies that I get at the very beginning of the day, beginning with the birds. That's a very nice welcome sign for all that we are here. So thanks to Fiji, thanks to the GSTC, thanks to you for being here today. As I said, my name is Jorge. I come from Chile. I have the privilege of working in a beautiful continent, which is all Latin America and the Caribbean. It is a place with an alive culture. I feel so nice when I hear from Fiji all what you're trying to do and all what the Pacific is trying to do to preserve the culture. Well, we have those challenges as well in my continent, and my companions here from different continents as well. So today we will try to see what the workforce is trying to do to enhance those kinds of things. Slido for questions. I guess you are experts right now in putting your questions into Slido. And if anyone doesn't want to put it on Slido, may raise up the hand and then we will go for it, no problem. But put it on Slido is easier for us to privilege what we want to see. And also note, remember you may take some insights, which of course we hope to have some good advices for you and share examples, but you're going to receive afterwards some of the main important ideas that we'll have here. Let me introduce some of our nice guests that we have here today to speak about this important matter. We have first Kuniko, which is over there with Amy. We're going to have some help from Amy to get some of the translation being done if it's needed. If not, Kuniko can speak directly. And then we have Rob here from Canada, which is also very important to get this perception out of the Aboriginal communities of Canada. We have Nip here that is coming from Thailand, also joining us. You see the diversity of people that we are having here. And finally, from New Zealand, Christian, joining us from the academy aspect, okay? So we have a very diverse people trying to input this challenge. Let me try to give some introduction, if you can set up the PowerPoint. And I can have a microphone, if it works. Hello, there we go. So very briefly, because the real important things will come from these very nice people that are joining us today, let's think about building a sustainable and inclusive tourism industry through, I wouldn't like the word workers anymore. I would love more to speak about collaboration inside of our organizations. Workers is a little cold for myself to think about it, and I think we all believe that nowadays this marvelous industry is moving forward towards collaboration. Some key elements to have in mind, some of the SDGs that we will be touching base. It's number 8, of course, one of the main ones, right? Decent work and economic growth, and of course, gender equality. We were speaking here before coming into stage about the importance of this, and probably Kuniko will also speak about that, right? In your company, how women has been growing and growing and growing in the importance of this industry. And I believe it's totally right. Women are meant to host beautifully. And I think they have a right and they have an option, a beautiful option in tourism to perform so beautiful by hosting everything. And then, of course, inside our organization, what's in there in the GSTC standards, not anymore criteria, standards that we'll be speaking, right, about the local residents and touching base also with the SGDs. Organization that empowers opportunities to the local people, and also like the being able on trying to labor and verify. Let me read here. Labor rights are respected. You see, and all of our standards will have an echo on the SGDs. We're brothers, and we believe that those are tools, the standards, to perform the better we can. Let's get some insights very briefly on what's surround us. How do global companies work to build employee loyalty? Loyalty towards a project, towards a dream, towards a mission. How do we make our people working in our company to accomplish that? And how much do we associate that loyalty with the sustainability performance? Sustainability is pretty much new for a lot of people coming into our organizations. So how do we manage to have that loyalty involved with sustainability? And of course, here in Fiji, and of course, here in this territory, are we incorporating cultural values in organization? I believe this is worldwide, that we must take care on those cultural values with the people and the collaborators we're having in there. So how about fostering that sense of pride and belonging to the organization? How deep is that sense of saying, I am proud to be part of the GSTC. I am proud to be part of any company in the world, any project in the world. I think that's something we need to measure as well, in terms of how we're doing our work daily by daily to engage people. And how much we push for new ways and better integrate future tourism professionals. This is a word I love, and this is a word that has been growing and growing and growing, the governance. The governance on what we do things, how we integrate more horizontal, all the people in our projects. And finally, how do we empower and unite the workforce and businesses to achieve common goals? So, being said that, I would like to move now into our panelists, which are really the important people here to share with us everything that has to do with today's theme. And I would like them to invite Kuniko, please come. Kuniko Takasaki, Managing Executive Officer at ITB Corporation, who leads the company efforts in DEIB and sustainability. She also serves as a board member of the GSTC, so we are brothers in the GSTC. Welcome, Kuniko. A big applause for her, please.
Is that okay? Okay. My name is Kuniko Takasaki, Managing Executive Officer in charge of the DEIB at JTB Corporation. First, I'd like to thank you, every GSTC, for this valuable opportunity. It's an honor to be here with you today. I'm excited to share how JTB is working to upskill our employees and promote ethical employment, all for a better and more sustainable future. Let me start by introducing the JTB Group. We are founded in 1912, more than 100 years later. We now have 354 offices in Japan and 152 offices in 36 countries around the world. We offer comprehensive travel experiences to our customers. We have over 19,000 travel professionals, and our annual revenue stands at 1,073 billion yen. JTB's business domain covers three main sectors: B2C, B2B, and B2G. Getting GSTC certified has helped us advance our mission. Our mission is to create opportunities that bring people together in meaningful ways. We aim to build lasting, sustainable relationships among people, places, and organizations. And to make all of this possible, we believe that promoting DEIB is essential. At JTB Group, we've set our group DEIB statement as a first step. It is treasure the difference, bring the world together. To promote DEIB, we have created a clear structure, which we call our building blocks. At the top is our group vision, the goal we aim for. At the base lies our DEIB and HR strategy, which supports DEIB promotion and stronger engagement. This engagement includes 6 key stakeholders: our employees, customers, partners, communities, shareholders, and the next generation. These efforts generate not only non-financial value, but also financial value, ensuring community and impact. Now, let me share some of the actions we're taking to promote DEIB. We focus on 5 key areas: diversity, career development support, employment and support for individuals with disabilities, gender equity, and work style transformation. These are our main focus area in Japan. First, I'd like to introduce our SMILE activity. In Japan, each office has a SMILE committee. They work to improve the workforce by encouraging communication among team members. This builds stronger engagement between employees and the company. Each region adapts this initiative to suit local conditions. For example, in Europe, the same initiative is carried out under the name CSR Champion. We also run the Nadeshiko Forum, a seminar to support female employees. In Japan, over 60% of JTB employees are women, but less than 40% hold management positions. This gap is a challenge for many Japanese companies, not just us. That's why these efforts are essentially important here. And of course, we support all employees, not only women, to help everyone enjoy their work and grow their careers. So far, I've talked about the DEIB, but behind all of these efforts is one key foundation: its sustainability. This image shows the sustainability vision of the JTB Group. JTB aims for tourism that not only arrange travel, but also helps address local environmental and human rights challenges. To achieve this, we offer training and foster environment where all stakeholders can grow, connect, and reach their full potential. We strongly believe that training and education are key to driving sustainability. At JTB Group, we offer e-learning to all employees worldwide, covering our sustainability policies. In Japan, we hold monthly workshops for employees in charge of sustainability. We also provide GSTC training to tour planners and purchasing staff. This photo was taken during our latest GSTC training. We are now developing a new learning program with GSTC to deepen understanding of key standards. For our partners, especially hotels, we share our procurement policies and hold sustainability talks. Together, we aim to build a more sustainable supply chain. Guided by our values of connecting, creating, and contributing, and inspired by our vision statement, pioneering ways to bring people, places, and possibilities together in a new era. We aim to lead Japan's tourist industry toward a more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kuniko. Very, very impressive numbers. Very impressive numbers. I mean, I think it's not that easy. 19,000 employees, 100 years old. I love the expression you said about treasure the difference. It's so important to be open to treasure the difference inside the companies. Smile. First time I ever see a company that moves forward pretending that people can smile and making that a nice mission and vision beautiful, and the non-financial values. Several things that are pretty impressive, Kuniko. Congratulations, because I think it's shown that a huge company can do well. And that's an amazing message you have shared with us. So thank you very much. Let me open my iPad here to present my next person. Rob holds an MBA, and it is Director of Development at the Cree Outfitting and Tourism Association. In Canada, with more than 20 years of leadership in the area of Indigenous economic development and cultural initiative, Robert has guided award-winning projects and advanced sustainable tourism initiatives rooted in community empowerment. Welcome, brother.
All right, well, thank you very much. It's an absolute honor to be here. I just want to say thank you to Fiji Tourism. We are in paradise for the week. Absolutely amazing place. I'm so happy to be here. And really thank you to the GSTC for organizing such a wonderful event. The Cree Outfitting and Tourism Association is a First Nations organization in Canada, and much of our workforce development comes through training programs. So, this is the territory. Canada is a huge, huge landmass. Our territory is called EUSG. It's in northern Quebec, and EUSG means People's Land in Cree. There's about 18,000 people that live there, so a land mass of 400,000 square kilometers, which is equivalent to 22 Fijis. Only 18,000 people live in 9 Cree communities. There are 4 other non-Indigenous communities that are there. They speak mostly French, whereas the Cree would speak Cree as their first language or English, and I'll get to the reason why in a second. But it creates for a very interesting dynamic between the two groups. I'd like to talk about challenges first, just because they're big challenges, but they're also fun to work around. Distance. There's about 1,000 kilometers between north and south, so moving people between communities isn't always easy. Winter's a long season, traveling becomes dangerous. The northernmost community is only accessible by air, so again, movement, not always easy. Educational opportunities. I wish there were more in our region. There is a legacy of residential schools, which is a fairly black stain on Canadian history, and I can talk to you more about that. But the reason why people in the Cree community speak English is because they went to school in English. They're run by the Anglican Church, and so in a province that speaks predominantly French, going to college becomes a challenge. You now have to take 3 courses in French, not just a French class, but a course such as history, geography, mathematics in French. So if you don't have that language level, it becomes very challenging just to get a college degree. In terms of economics in the region, I'm not gonna lie, everything is extremely, extremely expensive. If I wanna go to the northernmost community, believe it or not, it would cost me more to travel there than it did for me to come here. That, to me, is absolutely crazy. I was in one of the communities a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to buy some yogurt. It was $11, 11 Canadian dollars. In a grocery store near my house, about $3.50. So prices are inflated. And the other challenge that we face is tourism is seasonal employment in our region. As I said, winter is a long, long season. It gets cold early, and it stays cold for a long period of time. So we have a short working season in tourism, but we also compete with logging companies, we compete with mining companies, and that is a big drain on our human resources. But as I say, there's a solution to every problem. In terms of our organization, we've been working for over 25 years now, and sustainability has always been at the heart of what we do. And the reason why is because it's a cultural value. Culture, the Cree culture, one of the values is take what you need. And so we look at that with work. We want it to be meaningful work, decent wages, decent opportunities. But we also look at leaving no trace. So the environmental aspect has always been very, very important because the Cree are stewards of the land. I do want to point out, though, that it says meaningful work when it should say decent work. I have a problem with decent because the work should be meaningful in tourism. It means meaningful connections. It means meaningful interactions with people and communities. And so that's why I changed it. I just wanted to point that out. And I think you should too. So, developing the workforce really in the area has been a big challenge, but it's been essential to the success of what we've done so far. What has helped us is really to define our values because those are what are important to us. And they've really helped us focus our efforts in terms of planning and facilitating training opportunities. We know, okay, the Cree know and value traditional knowledge. It's extremely important. They've lived there forever, okay? It may not be mainstream accepted in the mainstream thought, but it's just as valid and it's just as important and has to be taken into consideration when we run training programs. Using Cree ways of learning has been more meaningful in terms of taking on the knowledge that is passed on from trainer to student. And when I say Cree-centric approach, that means being on the land. It doesn't make sense to have a first aid training course in a classroom when you can go out into the real world 20 feet away and do the course there. It's a better approach that we found. But the biggest thing is partnerships. And when I say partnerships, and I've heard this throughout the past 2 days, partnerships with outside organizations, partnerships with institutions, partnerships with funders, everything has to be mutually beneficial and respectful in nature. So I just want to share a couple case studies and what we've learned. The first one is about 20 years ago. Someone came to us and wanted to get his guide certification so he could take people out on the water on the canoes. And as I said, people have traveled these waterways for their entire life. There's generations of knowledge about the waterways. And a trainer came in and he said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tip the canoe. Now, if you talk to a Cree person, the first rule of canoeing is never tip the canoe. So this really didn't work, right? We have strong rivers, we have cold water, and if you were to tip the canoe, death is a real possibility. So this was not a success, but we've learned. If we go on to the University of Quebec, we've had a micro program to help alleviate the issue around language. We've offered a whole bunch of micro programs, which are about 5 courses in length, that are designed to help people in the communities be better and have the knowledge to start a business. So, accounting, business startup, marketing skills. These things aren't really taught in high school, and we developed this course with the University of Quebec to offer it. We've also done the same thing with a different college to help people manage hotels. In terms of risk management, we're going through a big program right now where we're trying to empower our own staff to help communities develop the risk management plan. So we're working with an outside organization, but our staff are taking the same training too, so that in the future years, we don't have to go out of the area to work with other people. We can take that knowledge that's right here within our organization to help communities. We've helped artists who tell the story of the Cree people. We've helped them develop workshops. We've also helped them develop presentation skills. I was thinking about the first time that I made a pair of slippers, and my teacher, she was a really great friend, but she said, watch what I do. And the Cree way of teaching is watch and learn. And so other people that were there, they're like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she's like, just watch, just watch. But it didn't really work. So we've helped develop presentation skills for people outside of the region so that it can be a more impactful and meaningful experience. We've gone through sustainability training. 2 of our staff took a course in Sweden with GSTC. We've also got our certification with Green Step. And again, our staff are going through that whole process, getting the training so that we can help communities make more sustainable choices in the future. And I want to talk about the last one, Winnipeg Tours. This is a great case study. We've helped build this company. It started just before COVID, and what they do is offer tours out onto the James Bay, where you can see polar bears. It's the only place in Canada where you can drive to go see polar bears. Get on a boat and go to islands. So it's a great experience. But what we don't do is we don't bait bears. If we happen to see one, we happen to see one. They're there. The captains know where to go. So it's more than likely that you would see one. But the great thing is it's a cooperative. And so everyone is really collaborative in how they work together. The captains get together, fix the boat, clean the boat, do oil changes. It's created employment. And one of the great things about it is our captain training has allowed community members to be able to work elsewhere as well, not just with Winnipeg Tours. They work with the Canadian Coast Guard. When they're search and rescue, they're able to go out and be hired that way. They work with the Cree Trappers Association to help hunters in the area. So it's really about building capacity within the region to help our communities and our community members become more sustainable. So in terms of successes, I know my time's up, so I'll go quickly. Partnerships, I've heard this in every single session I've attended. They're so extremely important, but they have to be flexible. They can't be these rigid things from southern communities where people want to come in and just dictate what's supposed to happen. They have to be willing to learn as well. And I think that's been extremely important. We have to make sure those values are shared with people from the outside so that when they do come in, they can make those adjustments. And the last thing is hands-on, right? Real experiences. Classrooms don't work. The land is beautiful. I mean, why keep yourself in a classroom? And really, if possible, we try to teach things in Cree. So I just want to say miigwech, thank you very much. If you do want to connect with me and have some questions, I'd be happy to hear from you, and I'd likewise I would be extremely happy to learn from you as well. So thank you very much.
Super. Thank you very much, Robert. Very nice initiatives. And just a few words there are challenges and makes it even more difficult. Distance, but fun. Yeah, a unique opportunity. We need to be able to turn over those challenges into opportunities and values. Getting into a place which is far away always is something unique for those visitors getting there. And the access to education, that's something to be pretty much solved and achieved, right? And at the end, training for the well-being of the Cree. That's spectacular. That's the way to go. Congratulations. Another applause, please, for Rob. Very nice. So let's go for my next nice. So we're moving from Japan all the way to Canada, and now we go to Thailand. This is a hard name to pronounce. I'll do my best now. There we go. Nipatpong Chuanchuen. How did I do it? Pretty well? Our friend Nipat, that's even easier. He's an expert researcher from Thailand Net Zero Tourism Network, powered by Thailand Science Research and Innovation Agency. Welcome, amigo.
Yeah. Thank you, George.
Let's give him applause.
Yeah. My name is Nipatpong Chuanchuen, or you can call me Ta, just Ta.
That was easier.
Yeah, easier, more easier. And it's a pleasure to be here in GSTC 2025. And today I would like to share to all of you about our journey. Our journey means me and my team and the supporter behind me, many of organizations behind me to do the capacity building in climate literacy for micro and small enterprise in tourism sector. Okay, now usually when we say or when we talk about the micro and small enterprise, we always struggling with the complex methodology, and we are lacking of the resources. We are lacking of the money to do the register of any of equalable or even hire the consultant. So this is the work that we try to help them from 2021 until now. Yeah. And at the moment, today where we meet together, we can certify 300 of carbon neutral tours. The carbon neutral tour means we set the boundary from the meeting point until the end of tour, and we do the decarbonization first, and then we offset all of them by the domestic carbon credit, and also we use the nature-based solution under the research support. Because now I am the founder of the small tour operator specialized in trekking in Thailand, and also funded by the Ministry of Science to do the research and try to help myself and my friend to achieve the carbon neutrality. And we can, what we can achieve normally, we can decarbonization 31% compared to the baseline in the first year of our action. And now after we do for 4 years, 30 of us or 10% of us now applying to join the Glasgow Declaration already. We work with the UN Tourism to apply and submit it. And also we have 4,000 of the network. This number is about just 5% of tourism enterprise in Thailand. We have 100,000 of them in Thailand. Yeah. But anyway, now we can achieve the almost 10% of them. And also we create the zero carbon application. So if you are the small tourism enterprise in Thailand, you can just download it and do the carbon calculation for your tourism tour program for free. And we can do the offset it. It is the in-app offsetting, okay? And it can apply to the MICE, to sport and wellness as well. Yeah. We can do it under the support by the policy support from all of the tourism promotion agency in Thailand. And we are focusing on the coaching to take more actions. And then we have marketing. So as the incentive for them to join us, without the incentive, sorry, but no one want to join. So with the incentive to connect and to matching with the other buyer from European or from the other continent, so we can bring more and more small tourism business to join in our scheme. Yeah. Most of us in Thailand, okay, the context of Thailand, I would like to show, okay, in other country, maybe you have only one the tourism promotion agency, like Tourism Fiji. In Thailand, many, okay, many, at different function. Okay, TAT for marketing, DOT for supply and standard, and TCEP for MICE, and DASTA for sustainable tourism. So we have a lot. But first of all, we have to bring them together to do it together. And we have the very active secretariat. She is supposed to be here today, but with the technical problem, so she cannot join today. Yeah. And for this slide, I would like to show all of you about how different between 2021 and 2025. At 2021, none mean we don't have the manual, we don't have the guidance in the Thai context. I mean, if you are the small company, a micro company, you have nothing to read. And in Thailand, they have the language barrier, you know, or yeah, most of Thailand can speak Thai only. So without the local language manual, they cannot achieve it. And we set the application, we set the standard for them to join. Yeah. And we are focused on let them commit to decarbonize and then manage. And from that spot, so we encourage them to do the climate action plan. And we try to join with the international scheme like the Glasgow Declaration or even Baku Declaration, the new one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I have the tool of best practice to share. Oh, sorry for wrong spell. It's the 100 renewable energy solar boat. Yeah. In Bangkok, where I come from. And they call it trash negative. So every of the tour, not only they have to control their trash, but okay, they have to get the trash out from the canal also. So we call it trash negative and supporting the local vendor. Yeah. And in Bang Rong in Phuket, next year I would like to advertise. We have the GSTC summit. Yeah. Please, you can visit. you can visit them. We can achieve the 50% less emission intensity per traveler during 2019. And I can say for everyone who work in the decarbonization, we always know that the 50% less is very hard, but they can. Okay. And And last of my presentation is this. Now we change from the 2021. We start from measurement it, and we found that if we start for measurement for the grassroots or for the people who lacking of the resources, knowledge, and also in Thailand, it means the language barrier. So we add one more step. We train them to do the decarbonization with the simple technique that can guarantee that they can decarbonize more than 20% within the first year of action. And then we can train and share. We start to share for Gambia in Africa, and the next 2 weeks after the GSTC, we will going to sharing with the Bhutan country. Actually, they are carbon negative, but I don't know why they need that, but we will go there. Okay, that is my presentation.
Super. Big applause for TAR, please. So 40,000 people in the network represents the 5% of the industry. This is huge, TAR. It's a huge amount of stakeholders, a lot of work to be done before we arrive there next year, TAR. You need to move forward. Very good. And you have already, from 2019 all up to today, 50% less emissions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just one of them.
Oh, yeah, but still, it's very good job, very well done. Train the trainers. That's a very nice asset. We believe we know everything, trainers, and we're always needed to learn more and move forward with our knowledge. Thank you very much, TAR. Another applause for TAR, please. That was much easier to call you TAR than the complex name. Okay, we will visit you next year, for sure. We will be there, TAR. Okay, so moving now from Thailand all the way to New Zealand with my friend Christian Schott. Christian is Associate Professor in Management for Sustainability at Victoria University of Wellington in Aotearoa, New Zealand. His research interest includes the positive and negative impacts of tourism and education for sustainability. He has been invited to speak at the New Zealand Parliament about sustainable and regenerative tourism and was awarded the New Zealand National Tertiary Educator Award in 2022 for innovation and education. Congratulations, Christian. The stage is yours.
Muchas gracias. Dolavina, Nisambula Vinaka, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here. I'm going to walk around a bit, and I apologize if I'm going to wake you up, but it is that time of the afternoon. So I'm going to talk about, for lack of better word, workforce development, but from the perspective of the training organizations, because we have with us hundreds of students every year that are training to become, or hopefully educated to become, the future leaders of the tourism industry. Many of you probably went through degree programs at various universities or vocational colleges, whatever it might be. Now, there's a lot I can talk about because I'm very passionate about this. It's my area of research, and it's also something that's close to what's driving me. Academia isn't always a great place to be, but this is something where we have a unique opportunity. So I'm going to talk specifically about how do we engage our learners in a meaningful way, but to help them understand global citizenship in other places. So helping my students in New Zealand understand how New Zealand works is a good start, but they might end up working in completely different places around the world. So I have a role to play where I need to help them understand different cultures, different places, and different ways of seeing things, because that is crucial. So as was previously done, I'm going to link back to the SDGs briefly. SDG 4 along with SDG 13 are the ones closest to my heart. And SDG 4 actually spells out our role as educators, whether we are in universities or even in schools. And it reads, by 2030, ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and a couple of other points, global citizenship, and I think this is possibly the most important point, and appreciation of cultural diversity and of culture's contribution to sustainable development. And there are so many places around the world, arguably all places around the world. If we don't understand the culture and we don't appreciate the culture, we cannot achieve any kind of sustainable development. And that's where this is coming from. So I see my role more as a facilitator. It's not so much that I think I need to tell my students how to think and what to do, but it's really about a few ideas. In my mind, they need to be able to have a deep understanding of the complexities of tourism. It looks great on paper, it is so difficult in reality, and particularly that tension. A deep understanding of the impacts. I'm trying to somewhat illustrate this in the diagram. The impacts don't stop with the direct impact. They don't stop with the short-term impact. They keep traveling, and we need to understand how far those impacts travel. We need to understand not just the direct impacts, but also the induced impacts that go through our systems and other things. And also the broader ecosystem. We exist in a world that is defined as VUCA. It's a crazy world we operate in. Tourism is part of it. What tourism does has implications for everything else. What everything else does has implications for tourism. But sometimes we try and say, well, this is tourism and this is how we do things. But we are so integrated. And awareness of this intricate relationship and interrelationship between economy, society, and environment. And we cannot separate them out. And that's, I suppose, why I'm trying to put the economy. The economy is just serving society, and everything sits within the environment. And if the environment isn't well, we are not well, our societies won't be well. So the question, though, then is this the best way to tell the story? So at the moment, you're still listening, but I'd give it another 2, 3, 4 minutes. If I keep talking about my diagram, some of you will start switching off. And it's understandable. So for decades, we have negotiated this as was already mentioned. We take people into the field. We take people on field trips. We expose them situated experiential learning. So we're trying to tell people what it's like to be in a place, but it's all about immersion. It's about being in the place, understanding culture, understanding the politics, understanding the environment, the topography, everything that's happening. And ultimately, it also represents the realities that are very difficult to explain if you're not out in the field. And not even for me to explain, but for the people that are living with it, the people that are in the field. So we have a problem. We can't really do field trips. So if I take my students on a field trip to Fiji to talk about, oh dear, climate change is really bad, and we have just flown to our destination with 100 students. So there's a real problem. On top of that, nobody has money. Universities don't have money. Students don't have money for field trips. We have the risk implications. We have a risk modeler there. All of these things are becoming quite serious. So what do we get our students to do? Read another book chapter, read one of those famous journal articles that we've been talking about 2 days ago. It's unlikely to work for students. So I'm just, as I said, giving an example of one of the things we do. And this is just trying to say, how do we do things differently so our students become more passionate champions for sustainability? And Jorge at the beginning said, our Fijian hosts are keen to learn about what we do. Well, in this case, it's the other way around. It's actually, my students are learning from Fijian communities, from a Vanua and from a community to understand cultural protocols. So we put together this diagram. Again, I'm not going to bore you by explaining how this works. You're welcome to look at it later. But for us, it was a stepping stone. We based it on literature, and we tried to understand what do we need to create experiential learning. And then, this is dangerous, I can't see the timer. How am I doing?
2 minutes and a
2
half.
minutes, look at that. And then we translated it into something that we could use digitally, to digitally mediate an experience where it's not about getting a suntan, and no, you don't have the talks in the evening you have on a real field trip, but it's driven by the learning outcomes. The first one is to a community on the Yasawa Islands, Yasawa Irara. Some of the people from Fiji will know about Yasawa Irara and Bukama. And down there in the picture, you see Momo Naele, who's the spokesperson for the village of Yasawa Irara, and his wife Nari. So we replicate the environment digitally. Can we get it absolutely accurate? Probably not. So we're not trying to say this is absolutely authentic, but we're trying to bring in the key elements. And then the resource, it's the people. As was previously said, it's the people that matter. And in this case, it's the community of Yasawa Irara. So they are explaining to my students why different people have different worldviews. I'm not the best person to explain that because I'm not indigenous. So they explain about the importance of the Aisevu Sevu, its importance of cultural protocol, how you behave in a village. And over and beyond the particulars of being in a Fijian village, it's going to be different in a Samoan village. It's going to be different in a village in Vanuatu. But it's appreciation that we can't impose our ideas on other people. And particularly for tourism managers, I think this is absolutely crucial. Ultimately, to me, it's about building understanding and an emotional connection. If we care about the people, we will respond differently. We will behave differently. And the other example is the community of Machu Picchu Pueblo. This is, of course, in Peru. And again, the idea is that we bring the students to the place to experience the place, experience the topography, geography, but mostly they learn from the people. And each time it's a multi-stakeholder perspective. So understanding what are the different views. Not everybody thinks the same. That's important. Understanding the tensions that exist. All of that is crucial. And ultimately, and this is hopefully still on time, the learners can experience this through full virtual reality if we have the opportunity to, or as an example here, these are students at the University of French Polynesia, and we have some friends here from French Polynesia, students from the National University of Vanuatu, my students in Colombia. They are able to experience this. So all these students around the world are learning from the communities of Yasawa Irara and Bukama to understand how things are done differently, different worldviews, also different solutions. So also trying to tap into indigenous knowledge to understand what are the local solutions rather than us trying to come up with solutions. And this is the last slide, really just to show we're trying to bring alive a very boring diagram, but one that's actually very important through bringing it into life in a digitally mediated way to create that sense of emotional connection so that our students care and they understand everything is connected. Vinaka Vakalevu.
Wow, 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 amigo. Amazing, amazing work, amazing how you're using technology by the example of having people from New Zealand working with Machu Picchu, not needing to travel and make tar angry because we're providing CO2 into the air. That's amazing. That's an amazing innovation. Congratulations, and another applause, please, for this university and Christian. Very, very good. Very nice. You may be a little shy to applause. Come on, stronger. Yeah, there you go. Vamos, bula. There you go. So, time for questions. I had my own questions, but I think I'm not going to use them because we're getting questions here from the audience. Let me see. Maybe I use some of them, on some not. Let's begin here. I'm going to begin with Kuniko. I think the question that I had for you previously is very good, and let's see, and then we'll move forward with questions from the audience. Kuniko, how do you manage to sustain the international sustainable spirit in an organization with so many collaborators and do not feel like it is imposed.
Thank you, Jorge.
19 workers?
Yes,
How do you
that's right.
sustain that spirit?
Okay, my answer is a little bit sensitive, so Amy from GSTC will help me translation, okay? So I talk Japanese. ポイントは2つあると思ってます。1つは、まず会社の基幹決定をするということです。例えば取締役会とか経営会議でこのことが重要であるということをみんなに知ってもらいます。そうすると総論、賛成、各論、反対って言った時にいやいやあなたちゃんとオーソライズしたでしょって言えるっていうことが一つです。で、二つ目はトップダウンとボトムアップを両方でやるということです。先ほどのプレゼンテーションでも説明をしましたけれども、まずトップが圧倒的なメッセージを出すということ。そして、スマイル活動っていうのはボトムアップで、みんながやっていくっていうこの2つを継続的にやるっていうことになります。
All clear? Yeah, right?
Don't worry,
Okay,
I'm
Amy,
going to
please help us.
translate.
Please help us.
Okay, I can say there is a 2 point that the first one is as a company, we need to decide that as a board members level, that this activities, this approach is very important. So this fact is really strong that later on somebody says that no, I don't want to do this. Well, but you already agreed on. So this is very important point, one. And second one is that the top-down approach and bottom-up approach. So both of them needs to do together. So the first one is the top-down should be the top management, deliver the strong message to the employees, and then also the bottom-up it should be what she explained in the presentation, that the smile activities, those things needs to do continuously for a longer time to make it really longer evidence that we are doing the right things.
Super. Thank you, Kuniko. Thank you, Amy. The smiling philosophy, I love it. We should try and export that philosophy, Kuniko. Very good. Okay, amigo Rob, this is for you. Let's go to Canada. Rob, how well do the Creek's traditional workflows training mesh fit with the modern OHS and safety at work laws in Canada? Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for that question. I would say they fit very well. The Cree have always been safe. The Cree have always had to be conscious of the environment that they're working in, and this goes back to long before formal work settings. People have lived off the land, so it's important to be safe on the land. It's important to be safe on the water. Really, it's just the formal recognition of what people have always done, and I think safety is everyone's concern. And so it just really, it's just the formal recognition of what people have done forever.
Super. Thank you very much. Okay, Tar, this is for you. Based on your experience, what key points should be addressed to improve climate literacy among micro and small tourism business?
Oh, yes. Because of, I think we are still lacking of tools to train them to get more understand in climate change. Okay, in 2021, I used to start the training for my trainee class like, okay, let's introduce about the greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide, is methane, is nitrous oxide. And 1 hour after that, no, it's get a mess in their head, and they start to they don't like our training and gone. So we try to design a lot of many of board games, many of process. But as I know, around the world, there's still a room or a gap to improve about that. Please help us to create the more easier tools to build people to get more capacity in climate literacy, please.
Super, thank you very much, Tar. Okay, now we will walk to New Zealand, right? We won't fly anymore. We will walk to New Zealand, so Tar doesn't get mad, and we'll go to you, Kristen. What skills are missing in education that we should be integrating for the sustainable workforce of the future? What a light question. Go for it, amigo.
It's an excellent question, and I've been asking my colleagues in the workforce that work in the industry the same question, because in many respects we are trying to help educate our students for that world that comes after, where they will be working in a role for 40 years. All of that information boiled together, I think to me it is, the hard skills will change. You know, how we do things and what technology we teach them, that will change. And organizations are great at refreshing or teaching those skills. I think what the students in tourism need to make tourism a tool for development is the soft skills, particularly around empathy, actually caring. Empathy for other people, for communities they might be working with, for their employees, for their human resources, and for the environment. So putting it very bluntly, I think empathy and, of course, critical thinking are crucial for the future that will keep changing, where everything changes around us. But empathy and critical thinking, I think, will keep us in good stead to be able to adjust, be agile, and find our place as the world is changing around us.
Empathy, I take that one. It's what moves us towards the community, towards the visitors, towards everything. The empathy to be able to host in a proper way. Okay, let's go back to Kuniko. Which is your preferred approach in your company, Kuniko? More green job or greening existent jobs?
Green. What does it mean, the green of executive job? What does it mean, the green executive job?
Which is your preferred approach? More green jobs?
Green job.
Like bringing more green jobs, training, or the ones existing, you want to make them more green?
環境に配慮したやっぱり調達とか、それから例えばパートナーと一緒に仕事をしていくので、その人たちと一緒にスキルを上げていくっていうことをやっぱりやり続けるっていうこととともに、そのパートナーだけじゃなくて私たち自身の社員のみんながそのことをよく理解するように、やっぱり研修だとか教育の機会を続けていくっていうことの両方が大事だと思います。
Okay, I think that we still need to continue working with the stakeholders who is doing the green work activities in their business. And also we grow together with the stakeholders and supply chains. And then also at the same time that for our employees that we have to, by ourselves, that we have to grow together with the employee with the mind of sustainability. And then so that all the employee can talk to the stakeholder and supply chains that with the mind of sustainability. So both important.
Super. So it's internal and also to the supply chain, the impact you want to bring. Rob, here we go. How are local workers being empowered through current workforce development plans?
Well, we look at it through a community approach. We listen to what communities need, and that is the focus of our training plans. in terms of empowering people, the idea is really to provide skills that people may not have had before, and whether they can use that in the tourism industry or in other sectors, I think is really important too. And I think back to artists, right? Not only do they get to practice their culture, their art, but they also get to do it learn about presentation skills, learn about interacting with people, and that is something that they can, yes, work with tourists in workshops, but also in other sectors if they end up leaving the industry. So it's not just about skills for tourism, it's skills for the overall region that people can use later on. And I go back to the Winnipeg Tours example as well. You know, people have formal recognition now of being a captain, of having a license to navigate a boat, and they're now able to not just work for Winnipeg Tours, but they're able to work for the Coast Guard on search and rescues, right? And they still get paid for that. So it provides employment opportunities, not just within the industry, but elsewhere.
Super.
I hope that answers the...
Yeah, super. Thank you very much. Tar, in my throat. Tar, I'm going to make you a question that I prepared for you that I think it's interesting for us to hear. Here we go. Ready? How do we manage that the net zero objectives may permeate towards their own families and livelihood? Also tell us a little bit about gender policy in your experience in your projects down in Thailand.
I would like to start from the gender policy in Thailand. We have, what we have right now, we have the Anti-Discrimination Act. We have the Marriage Equality Act. And yesterday we just can move to the Indigenous Rights Act. So about the gender equality and inclusive, more and more, not only act, not only law in Thailand, but actually we in the tourism sector, we have many of women working, we have many of transgender and disability person working in our tourism sector. So I think Thailand's go better and better in this topic. And about to permit to put the more of the awareness about the climate change and also the make action to spread into their family. Okay, in our training we try to let them to start from themselves and their family. That's the point. And if any of the tour operator, any of hotel who register with us, if they cannot pass the screening about the start from themselves, okay, we don't let them join. So that's what we are working right now. Thank you.
Super, Tar. Sorry, thank you very much. Okay, Christian. Virtual reality. Amazing. Congratulations again, amigo. Huge change, huge innovation. And e-courses seems to play a major role in the reduction of travel. What other applications can you see in the tourism industry for this? What's next, Christian? What's next?
So it's a good question, but I think it's not actually true. I don't think VR has led to a reduction in travel. If anything, I think it has probably piqued people's interest in destinations they didn't currently know that much about. I think the real value of virtual reality is to help people prepare for a destination, for going to a place to understand who are your hosts, how should you behave as a guest, how should you engage with the environment that often is so crucial to the hosts. Hurting the environment is often hurtful to the very people you're going to visit. So in my mind, virtual reality has massive potential also for education in the tourism industry. Some call it marketing, but I think we should be going much further and educating visitors before they come to our places why certain behaviors are encouraged and welcome, why other behaviors are discouraged, and not to go somewhere for 2 days. Stay longer, engage, slow things down, make it a special experience that will be memorable, because climate change is real, it's part of all of this. So if we're zipping around, going on city breaks all the time, it's a diminished experience, I think, to what it could be. So I see the potential in education, in formal education, and in the tourism industry. Massive potential.
Super. Thank you very much, Christian. We'll have one more question and then a little to-go ideas. Kuniko,
Yes.
labor shortage is a big problem in the industry. How all efforts contribute to the employment retention. Can your efforts be measured?
OK。まず、ごめんなさい、日本語ですけども、社員の皆さんの働きやすさと働きがい、この両方を両立するっていうことです。で、これは制度でいろいろ保障して、例えば家から仕事ができることを保障したり、週に3日の働くっていうことを保障したりっていう制度を会社で決めるっていうことと、すごく大事なのはその結果をエンゲージメントサーベイで可視化している、数値化しているっていうことになります。で、それが各箇所で数字が出てくるので、その数字を、マネージメントの評価にしている国もあります。で、そのエンゲージメントサーベイはすべての国、日本中の先の19,000人全員に対してやっていて、年に1回大きなのしてるし、あとパルスサーベイっていうことで年に2回やっていて、それを必ず見てフィードバックしてちゃんと伝えてやっているというところが非常にポイントかなと思います。Okay.
Okay, first of all, it's very important to have the policy as a company that for employee, for them to easy to work, and then they have a purpose to work, and then they satisfy that they are working for JTB. And then this establishing the policy is very important, such as we allow them to work remote working or maybe only working 3 days in a week. So those policy is very important to establish, first of all. And then we measure that how we are doing from the survey to all the employee to have the number that how many employees are satisfied and then whether there is any problems. And those numbers should be reported to the management. And then actually we are doing it twice in a year, all the employees, and then globally we are doing it. So those report with a number is key.
Super, thank you very much, and thank you very much, Emi and Kuniko. Friends, we have 18 seconds per person to send a message to the audience. What's the takeaway would you like them to bring back tonight and think about? Starting by Europe. 18 seconds.
18 seconds. Relationships. And I say it 3 times for a very specific purpose. 1, relationships with your communities that you work with. I think that's absolutely key to understanding what their needs are. Relationships with outside organizations so that you can build a respectful and beneficial partnership, and relationships with funding agencies that can help you deliver these programs in the communities.
Super, great. Tar.
For me, I think the sustainable tourism utopia cannot be achieved without the inclusion of micro and small businesses in the development equation. So for any person who works in sustainable tourism development, please do not leave us behind from the too complex methodology and unaffordable certification process. Please help us. Thank you.
Very good, Tar. Excellent. Mr. Christian from New Zealand, the message.
Thank you. For me, we need to become better at intergenerational thinking. In the West, we are terrible at it. I think we don't think that way, although it's so crucial. And the other thing is ecosystems thinking, and not just in terms of the environment. We're all part of an ecosystem. Again, if we think that way, we will make different choices and better choices.
Thank you very much. And finally, Kuniko.
Yes, sustainability takes long-term commitment and consistent action. Change doesn't happen overnight. Say it, do it, never give up. That's it.
Super. Thank you very much. A big, big applause for all my guests here, and thank you very much for attending. Hope you can take back home some good ideas and to see that everywhere in the world we are trying to support sustainability and have better collaboration from our employees, from our collaborators, from our chain of value, everything. So let's keep moving and make this world better. Thank you very much, everyone. We have some refreshment break now if you want to go out and have a refreshment, and let's take a little photo of ourselves. Thank you very much, everyone.